Welcome to another episode of the APL Spotlight Series. Incredible guests the world over with amazing talents, insights, experiences to share with us. We love getting their wisdom on the show, and what's really cool and what most folks don't know, because you got to stick around to the end of either the Angels Positivity and Love show itself or the offshoot that you're at here today, the APL Spotlight Series, is that these guests often catch lit stage through two screens or see
Mhm.
my light on my hands or talk to angels or more. We've had balls of light fly by. So if you stick around, you can participate in that as well. And oftentimes, our guests these days are sharing their light, their love through two screens. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 years into the future, you're in Christchurch, Berlin, Tokyo, you can catch their vibe, or at least the vibe of an angel, or at least the scent of sage in the air or flowers. So welcome to the show. We have an incredible guest. I've met her before. She was kind enough to have me back on her show a few years ago. It's Ellen Newhouse out of Seattle, transformational healer, singer, acupuncturist, best-selling author, and much more. Loves helping, especially women, transform their lives, get moving in life, and open up, essentially. More love. Ellen, great to see you again. We've been having a ton of fun before the show started, and
Oh
here
my
we are.
God, I am amazed. Michael, we've worked together, I think, at least three times now, and your work, it has really escalated. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I am really amazed. Like, it's just, whoo. So I don't know if you share what happened during that. Oh my goodness.
Feel free to share it if you want. I don't have a
Okay.
lot of guests doing that. So,
Happy to share. So, what you don't know is that Monday, so we're Wednesday, Monday, I ended up having unexpected 4.5 hour dental surgery. Yes. And oh my God, there's been so much going on. But today, as the angels were working with me, so after I don't even know where to begin, but before the dental surgery, I was having all these problems with my left knee. And after the dental surgery, I was laying in bed and I was like, wow, my knee feels really different. I got up and 90% of the swelling was down. It was like, what? And my sweet husband, who is not into woo at all, though he loves and adores me, um, he was like, you know what? You release the swelling through all your tears that you cried after the surgery. And I did. Oh my God. So, not to be too graphic, but after they finally extracted this tooth, which was very difficult, without knowing, I said to the surgeon, okay, I know you're not done, but I need to sit up. It was like, it was absolutely coming out of me. Like it wasn't a thought in my head, if you know what I mean. It was just coming out of me. He sat me up. As soon as I sat up, now mind you, this office, there are no doors. There's just like partitions, right? And there are many practitioners. As soon as he sat me up, as soon as I was upright, this howl, my
oh,
howl, not even like a howl released out of my mouth, out of my entire being. And then I was sobbing, hysterically sobbing. And I don't know if you've had this experience or anybody watching, but when you can hear the difference between like an adult cry or like one of your inner children crying, oh my Lord, my little girls were just needing that expression of, whatever pain was yet unresolved. And what the surgeon didn't know, while he was doing the surgery, I was sadly having lots of memory pictures of when I was abused.
oh,
And it was so beautiful. I know this is going to sound strange, but the sound was like the sound I have professionally participated in five births, and it was definitely the sound a woman makes at the last push. It was stunningly beautiful and shockingly intense, right? So, Fast forward to right now, you didn't know any of
I
that.
didn't know any of
You
that.
didn't know any of that.
And you were
And
getting help from angels just before the show, especially here.
yes, so I didn't even bother to tell you anything. And so what I got is like that night I had a dream and I got that what was left was right in the back of my neck. So that's what happened. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I just had goosebumps go straight through me. It's just like, and so that's what was going on. Oh my God,
And
Michael,
did
that was
Joy,
crazy.
Charlotte, Min, or at least Joy took it off your neck, right?
Yes, 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 yes. And I mean, you could see what they were doing. That's why I said, hang on a moment, because it wasn't just it was like they were manipulating. I could feel them taking the energy from this side to that side
Yep.
and moving it out.
Your
Oh,
eyes were shut. You were definitely engaged. I never hear any details, whether it's a question or an answer or what's going on. And you had visuals happening too.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then when it was complete, there were just the release of tears that would just, it was the sense of absolute gratitude that this healing is complete finally after all these decades. I mean, this has been decades.
Hmm.
Oh, like I no longer need to carry that.
I love it. I'll
Oh,
put Joy up for a private something, and then she'll give you a topic to run with that you already could have talked about blindfolded. But here's Joy. Here's something privately. Catch
okay.
even a floral scent if you wish. And then she's reminding us all, and you can run with it.
Okay, got it.
What'd you get?
Oh, you really want me to say
Well,
anything?
what's she have as a topic you can run with for all of us?
Oh, so not just personally.
And yeah, you got your personal. Get something
Okay,
that's a good topic that
okay,
she's like, yeah,
okay,
talk about
okay,
this.
okay, okay. Well, she's telling me it's the same issue around sexuality
Okay.
and around especially women's power. And if there are any women who are watching this, about like the idea that women, you are like your sexuality is just blossoming in your 60s. So enjoy it.
Okay. Talk to us about how everything in life is truly your opportunity. Good
Oh
luck
my
believing it,
gosh.
or everything's your instruction. Good luck believing it because thinking will tell you otherwise, but the heart is ready to roll.
Oh no, this is absolutely true. I mean, that's exactly what I said. So I wish you had been at that dentist appointment. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything. I mean, even the dentist was like, oh my God. So I'll give you what happened. And it's so we've known that there's been I had a bridge and then I had a crown. And we've known for a while. We've been watching it. And just, it's okay, but we're gonna keep an eye on it because I was with, an older dentist who retired, and then I have a new holistic dentist. So we've been, watching it. So I go in and I know, and he takes an x-ray, because I've been having cold sensitive, cold, not cold and hot, which is a bad sign, but cold. It's enough of a sign that okay. He takes an x-ray and he's like, yes, that bridge needs to come off. I'm like, okay. Now that bridge is involving three teeth. And it was the middle tooth originally that was the issue. So my old dentist, many, many years ago, just at the beginning of implants, had tried to put an implant. It failed, hence I ended up with a bridge. Okay. So he says to me, he said, well, the seal is broken. It had, and so decay is getting underneath it. Then he goes on to say, Ellen, this material is so hard. I'm gonna have to use elbow grease. I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. But I'm thinking, if it's so friggin' hard, how did the seal break? Never mind. Decay will do that. Okay, so he gets, oh, no, 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 no. He says, but I have to make an impression first. I said, okay. I said, but remember, we are babying the tooth over here. He said, oh, good. Thank you for the reminder. I will not even put whatever that stuff is they put for an impression. I'll just miss that tooth. I'll miss that tooth. Okay. Takes the impression. He's being very gentle. The crown of that tooth flies off into the back of my throat. Luckily, I was able to sit up, and so we caught it. But now we've got, oh, and then okay, and then he gets, I can hear he's being very calm, but I can hear the breath, right? He's like, and I'm like, okay. And then he gets the bridge off, and the last tooth is completely shot to hell.
Oof. He didn't know
This is, oh no, 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 no. So I'm thinking, so he's saying, good, we can put, he's looking at the crown and he's like, oh, this is great. We can put it back in. It's in one piece. The post is there. Great. My thinking is he's just going to, put some new cement and shove it up. Oh no, 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 no. We have to drill. We have to drill up there. I mean, a mouth is only so big. When they drill, I'm thinking, how much more bone could there possibly be left?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I ended up in 4.5 hours. This got drilled. The old crown was replaced. This, he was able to find the dentist who does surgery in the office, and he said, do you have any time? She's all numbed up and ready to go. And he said, I'll make the time because it was so inflamed. It was down to the nerve.
Hmm.
It was down to the nerve so much, not to be too graphic, that they couldn't numb it all the
How
way.
about we have our spiritual advisor, Charlotte, an angel, who's everyone's favorite school teacher from third grade. If you're from New Zealand, Canada watching, how about third form? But not Mrs. Wilson who got you in trouble, but Mrs. Johansson, the nice one. Have her come in and explain the spiritual level of all this,
Okay.
how it was prep work for you to
Okay.
do the big release. But what does Charlotte say verbatim that you can share from her to you to us?
Okay. When crises happen, it will look as though it's a crisis. It will look as though the house is on fire. It will look as though the whole world is falling apart. However, you are not to bite the bait. You are not to pretend that all of these things are truly what is going on. What is going on is you are being released. Whatever is happening, the release at times may seem very big, like a house on fire, like a tsunami, but you are prepared on the deepest levels. And we want you to laugh as you have heard Ellen laugh through her story and know that all is well.
I can see the burning house, and you run into the fridge, grab the bottle of champagne, you pop it out on the street as the fire department's trying to put it out, and you still
Right?
celebrate a little. Yeah. When
Well,
it's time
thank
to
you,
let go.
Charlotte. That was eloquent. I'm like,
Was.
yes, exactly.
Okay. We're going to jump the gun here and do a
Okay.
little energy stuff first and then get you talking in a split second. But I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show my light to you, which is no big deal. You see auras on my hands. But the second you're ready and you've seen some light, have angels, your crew, lots of galactic or loving figures come in and do extra. People have gotten flowers. Two people got phoenixes. One person got a running buffalo. It could be anything,
Oh,
geometric patterns. But you get a dad joke, which is cool. So you see light between my fingers. Anybody at home can see this. You can put your hand up against a blue sky is best, or a shut off TV or a black sweatshirt and see it. You have to give yourself permission to let go and go crazy a little. Let go, go open, opening openness, like Tibetan Buddhist Chogyam Trungpa says. But here it is, and I'll do this, but then ask for more and you'll get more.
okay.
And here's your dad joke. Why did the rabbit fall down that well?
Why?
He didn't see that well. And what color filament of light are you seeing between my fingers?
Why?
Okay. And now ask for Angels to turn up the volume like on a 1970s receiver with those big knobs. A little turn goes a long way for volume going up. See more light. What are you getting now? More color, more shapes?
Okay. Yes, more purples.
Okay, perfect. And there's still one more thing I was going to do. They're going to start to give you a topic with the next exercise. And there's an
Hmm.
angel named Min who's very oceany. Okay,
Oh,
so I'm going to put my hand up in Texas. You're in Washington. You're in by like Seattle area.
yes.
Um, feel what you can feel. Don't judge. Just you can put your hand up. You can feel it with all of you, and let angels start flowing to you. What are you feeling first?
Warmth.
Okay, now here comes bigger, and I'm going to blow my microphones down below today. I'm going to
Okay.
blow Hawaii and I'm going to whoosh once, but if you don't mind getting whooshed, whether it's from toe to crown chakra or crown chakra to whatever, or from back to front, you can, if you need to know ahead of time, Charlotte will tell you. But here it comes.
Okay. Woo! Oh wow. Oh wow, Michael.
And the next one's going to give you the topic. Let angels pile on. If you want to have an explosion of Shakti pot or stars or cosmic or just glitter all over the place. But here comes the topic, and you're going to talk for a little while here. Run with it.
Okay.
What do you get? What can you share with us?
Healing of the heart. Oh, so yeah, so going back to the dentist and the crisis, what I really understood and what I really want most people to understand is if you are in crisis, if you feel like the world is in crisis and this is really scaring you, is it is time to come into your heart. It is time to stop believing all that you see on the physical plane because that is just an outpicturing of all that's been held in consciousness before now. So it's the old showing itself up and it's okay that they'll play it out. They being those people that are attracted to that kind of drama. And you can make a choice that understanding that this is a time to come into your heart and to heal whatever within your heart is not of the highest good. And there's no judgment there, but sometimes we hold old beliefs, um, old fears, old outdated programming. And so it's just time to come inside, release which no longer serves you, and to then bring in the light, the new light that's wanting to come in, and especially the rose quartz light that seems very excited to come into your heart.
Talk to us about details versus how love is a constant. It's
Mm,
in you, it's around you, it's never left. Although a lot of us can think that when we were 5, 15, high school, college, or that first job, that's when everything we were smelling the roses, it was easy, we had a lot more fun. How nothing changed in one sense. It's never left you. And yet, if you look out, read a newspaper, the news, anything, it's easy to react. And
yes.
if you don't mind saying it a different way for us.
Yeah, so unfortunately, as you know, I grew up in a very violent household. In fact, my father was actually a lot like the Orange Man, for lack of a better word. And although much better looking, he was very much like him. And so it looked like God had deserted me. I was convinced I would pray to God because I had a very deep relationship with God since I was born. And I would say, like, come on, you need to get down here right now. So it looked as though I was deserted. Now, many decades later, I can look almost at an identical situation, right? Trump is very much like my father. And yet now I look at it and I laugh and I'm like, oh my God, I know the angels are all surrounding not just me, but all of us. How do I know that? Because I'm still alive. In many ways, had my angels, had God or spirit, whatever you want to call it, not been with me, I would not be alive. And that is no joke. It's no metaphor. Sadly, my father almost killed me physically.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be here if the angels hadn't interceded. So people could say, well, wait a minute. If there are angels, then why the hell did they allow you to get beaten so badly? And it's a great question. And it's not because the angels don't have deep compassion for me and for each one of us. It's that our souls decide that we're going to Earth for a very specific reason. So if you're here on Earth, believe me, this is no coincidence. You are here on purpose. You, as a soul, chose this arrangement. You chose this assignment, if you will. And sometimes when we don't understand why we're here, it can feel like punishment. Believe me, I did not make peace with being here on planet Earth until I was 41. And I used to beg God to take me home because I had memories of other places and I know how loving it is. But I also now know that I chose to be here at this particular juncture, at this particular time. And believe it or not, everything that I have been through in my life heretofore was to prepare me for this moment. And believe me when I tell you, if I didn't go through everything I went through, I wouldn't have the deep compassion for my patients that I do. I wouldn't have the deep understanding for the human condition that I do. I wouldn't have become me. I would have been like many, perhaps many other young affluent girls who grew up with diamond earrings, and not that they had it 100% easy, but it was far easier. And so I wouldn't have gained that soul knowledge. So I know that when we're inspirited, that we decide, I have this image. Can I tell you this image? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. I have this image that here we're flying around um when in spirit, right? And then we're like, oh my God, I know what I'm gonna do. And the board says, yes, what are you gonna do? I am gonna go to Earth. And they go, no, no, don't say it. Do not, no, 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 do not say that. And then as the young spirit, you go, why? And the board shudders because they understand how difficult that assignment is. And they get very serious. And you're just like, enjoy, right? You're like, and they're very, very serious. And they say, all right, understanding that when a soul wants to go to Earth, they cannot intercede. So they give you an assignment. They say, we want you to go off for 2 weeks alone and decide what you're going to Earth for. And if you decide after those 2 weeks that you still wish to go to Earth, then you will choose with us who your mother and father will be. So you go off flying for 2 weeks and you are like, oh my God, you're telling everybody I'm going to Earth. And everybody's kind of like, and you're so jubilant you don't even hear. And the poor grandmothers and mothers on the board are crying because they understand how difficult it will be. So you come back to the board and you're like, yes, I'm going. And they're just sobbing. But they must let you go. So they gather with you and you look down and they say, okay, given what you've chosen to want to go to Earth to work on, we ask you now to look down and choose the mother and father who will best serve you. Now, when we say best serve you, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy peasy. They mean you are electing two humans to create the environment from which you will most easily get to your assignment. And then you go to Earth, you are imported into the uterus of a woman, and then you wake up and you have forgotten everything, as the board had warned you, but you were sure you would remember everything. And then this life begins.
I love it. Did we blow sage? I'm a complete blank on the show. Did we do it live recently?
No, we did it before the show
Okay,
started.
so I'm gonna blow a little sage,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna have put up Min, an angel who's light waves of energy in water. She's my guardian angel, but 80,000 other people's guardian angel.
Okay.
Episode 110, Dr. Karen Wyatt. It's her guardian angel. So August 30th of 2024, people can check out that show. And just to mention that Ellen Newhouse will be back on next year as part of the formal show. We'll tape that at the end of this year, I think. Okay, here's the sage. Yeah, catch the sage. Say, got it out loud when you got it.
Got it. Yeah, I
Ask
got
for
it.
flowers, though, whether it's from the past, the future, Pacific flowers, something that's very significant,
I got that too. Yummy.
which,
Jasmine.
yay. And then if you don't mind, catch ocean, but not outside of Washington State. Like go Hawaii or somewhere, Delaware, Rehoboth, Florida, exotic Cancun,
Ooh, okay,
Seychelles.
I got it. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yay. And anyone can do this at home, though. Play it over. Please put an emoji down as a comment. That counts. Don't be shy. We've had, I think, 567,000 visitors by one count to the channel. We're about
What?
to hit 500,000 on the official count when you look up the channel, but it's really 567,000. We could use more emojis. Like, just put an emoji down. It's okay. It helps somebody else see the show. Here's that angel I'm talking about. She's like Mother Hawaii. Here's
Mm,
something very profound personally for you. And just call her Min, like Minnesota, the Lakota Sioux word for water, Min.
got it.
And what's the topic for you to follow off of that with for all of us that she's reminding you, reminding us?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So it's doing your work through your joy. So that brings me, I'm so excited to talk about this because, and I don't know in the past how personally I've gotten about all of this. So, as you know, I've been in private practice for 35 years and I love my work. However, I have always felt that something was missing. And I didn't know what that something was. And I kept begging God, please, give me a clue any day now. I'm open. And so the first thing that came was, it's time for you to write your story. Ugh, I did not want to write the story. Anytime I ask God for any questions or really big things, I get downloads like that. And my first reaction is, no, I don't want to do that. The first, thing was, you need to be a healer. No, I don't want to be a healer because I was a corporate monster before then. Oh my goodness. So then the book came. So I went to sit in meditation right after it came through the mouth of three of my patients within 1 week. And I was like, oh my God. So I sat in meditation at Alki Beach and I said, you know, there's this issue that's come up. I need to write the story. Is this true? Blah, blah, blah. And they're immediately, yes, of course. All right. So I took 5 years and I wrote the memoir that became the Amazon bestseller. So I thought that that would be it. Well, it wasn't it. Then, when it became an Amazon bestseller, it was optioned by a director in LA and she bought the film rights. Well, that was great, but it wasn't it. I was like, oh my God, come on, people. So then, as we worked together, and she's amazing, she said, I really want to write this as a one-woman show. I thought, great, let's do it. And we both went off and wrote. And when I came back, I could see like her writing was so much more amazing. I said, great, you write it. And I figured that she would hire an actress to do it. Well, she had another idea. She was like, no, you're going to perform it because remember, 100 years ago, I was an actress. And even though I left that, and I was just like, oh my God. I went back to God. Yes, yes, you're to do that. Okay, so I did that, and that was getting closer. I mean, it was so exciting. I performed 42 characters in an hour and 25-minute show. No makeup change, no wardrobe change. From, little Ellen to, abuser father to alcoholic mother, mentally ill mother. I mean, boom, 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 boom. And the show got great responses. And then we were going to open on Theater Row. I mean, this was like dreaming. June 16th, 2020 was the date we were supposed to open. Exactly. I see your face. You understand. It was canceled due to COVID. Michael, after 3 years of working on that show beautifully with so much joy, I mean, for it to cancel, it was devastating. And right, so in 2020, just backing up a little bit, right before the show was canceled, I had broken my leg skiing January 15th, 2020. As soon as I came out of my last cast, the next day we went into COVID. The next day after that, I got the worst phone call of my life about my dear mother, who I already spent a life of taking care of her very mentally ill mom who was brilliant but mentally ill. And then she had already gotten Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So believe me, it wasn't like we already hadn't dealt with a lot. Then I get the phone call, the worst phone call of my life. The nurses is crying. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She's like, your mom is really, really sick. Well, it was the very beginning of COVID, and they didn't understand that she had COVID. Okay. So we deal with that. My mom overcomes, God bless her, overcomes COVID physically. And then they decide, in some inimitable wisdom, to send her back to her floor, not understanding that COVID has roto-rooted her brain.
Yep.
She then attacks her husband, who's on the opposite side of the floor. Then they call me and they're like, oh my gosh, we are so sorry. We had to put her back on the COVID ward. I'm like, of course you did. Well, then they don't even know what to do with her. Long story short, my mom passes from COVID June 10th of 2020. Oh no, so in between the phone call and her passing, my show was canceled. Okay, I'm getting to the joy. So I go into a deep dive. I mean, it's just like, I mean, it was, four strikes and I was done. So I awaken at the middle of 2021 and I am like, whoa, I am severely in grief and I am severely depressed and I need something. And I'm like, okay, okay. So I sit, I ask spirit again, and they say, you need to be using your creativity. Out of that, I had this crazy idea. Okay, I remembered this beautiful singer-songwriter that I had seen once, one time. Her name is Anne Heaton. Oh, I love her so much. And Anne is such a gorgeous spirit. Michael, I have no idea what possessed me. I wrote to Anne and I said, we met once, you're a friend of da da da, and I've never written music, but I've written my whole life. Would you take me on? And she did, shockingly. I don't know what possessed her. So I began writing music with Anne. And oh my God, it was beautiful. It really got me over the hump. And then, life came back to normal. ish. And, Anne needed to go back to, she was going to get a master's and back to performing. And I needed, I got busier with patients, but that stuck with me. And I continued to not do the show because it wasn't, I felt that there was a responsibility. I mean, the show is hard. And I felt like as a community, we had been through hard and people needed a break. So it wasn't time to bring the show back, but I needed something. So I started writing my next book. That was great, but it wasn't the it. So then I love jealousy. Jealousy tells me what I want. So I am always like, whenever jealousy rises, I'm like, oh, I look in that direction. Okay, so if you're jealous of somebody, look in that direction. It's what you want. So I saw a woman online who's an actress who was writing her one woman show as a musical. And everything in my being was like, oh, well, who's she writing with? What is she doing? Da, da, da. So I reached out and said, who are you working with? She pretty quickly wrote me back and shared who she was working with. And I got in touch with him and I asked him what he, charged. Da, 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 da. I couldn't afford him. I'm like, you're lovely. I can't afford you. I said, but I posited this idea. I said, if you ever do a workshop, could you let me know? Because then it will probably be more affordable. Sure enough, a year later, in November, my husband and I were on vacation and he texted me and said, you've been on my brain. I'm doing a workshop. I'm going to sign you up. I'm like, sign me up. Yes. With the workshop, you got two one-on-one sessions with him. I brought all my material, new material that I had just written, not with Anne, but new material. And within one session, we wrote an entire song together. And he's like, Ellen, who are you? I'm like, I'm Ellen. He's like, that's lovely. Okay. Anyway, long story short, it has been the joy of my life. I have been now working with Drew Lawrence, a multi-platinum singer-songwriter producer for the last year, now 3 months. And I just released my first single, and I will be releasing an entire album, song by song, for this entire year. So what I want to tell you is, if you're like, you're not only being on purpose, but if your joy, if your soul is doing exactly what you need, want, desire, soulfully need to be doing, you will know it. There will be a click. You will feel so much joy doing it, even if it's a ton of work. And believe me, I'm working round the clock, but it's joyous work. It's work that I love. So if you don't feel that, keep going. Because when you're doing your soul work, you will feel that joy. No matter, I mean, I'm working 14-hour days, but it's out of such love. And I know that my songs will fill other people up. I know it's not just for my joy, but it's my joy in service to every single person's joy that will hear this.
Ooh, lovely. I'm going to bring in three Native American
Okay.
chiefs. They're like at the treetop level. If angels are really high up, this is easy for people to experience, but have them share something personal and then something that they share you can reflect to all of us. Here's the
Okay.
very first one, Dull Knife.
Mm,
His original name was Morningstar, but it's Dull Knife. Wisdom with some humor, like a mountain range. Catch one of those 60 sacred Native American scents in the air: tobacco, sweetgrass, juniper, sage, desert piñol,
got it.
pine.
Got it.
Okay, what are you getting as a reminder from him for all of us?
Okay. It is so important right now, especially right now, to be grounded in the physical body. And you can do this really simply by putting your feet on the ground. So take your shoes and socks off and go like find grass and just slowly walk in it. And it will really help you to be grounded. If you don't have grass and you're by ocean, go roll up your pants and put your feet in the water. Hopefully, it's cold water and stay there until it's like it's so cold you can barely stand it. And then get out. Oh, have towels with you and socks. Wrap your feet up so that they're nice and warm, and that will really, really ground you. Let me see if he wants to give me any other information for any other areas. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, one other thing he's saying to ground yourselves, and it's super important daily, is you can take what's called a 7 and 7 shower. So take a regular shower. At the end of that shower, it's 7 seconds hot, 7 seconds cold, 7 times. So it will be hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot.
And I've got Red Shirt for you, a Lakota Sioux chief who's the gentlest mom in the world. Compassion, compassion, compassion. Red Shirt, compassion. He's wearing a U.S. presidential medal. Day after the photo was taken, he and Geronimo were Pennsylvania Ave, White House, horseback, parade, Teddy Roosevelt. Here's Red Shirt, though, super soft spoken. What's his reminder for everybody?
Do not judge yourself, especially if you're unusual, and definitely don't judge other people who may go in the category of other, whether they are trans, gay, lesbian, whatever. Please, please, please do not judge because, first of all, any judgment is a self-judgment, and we really want to begin to accept ourselves for all of who we are. Everything, all the beautiful, the ugly, the good, the bad, the evil, the wicked, the joyous, the fun, the silly, the difficult, the serious, because we are all those things. And you and I are everything and everyone. So if there is somebody outside of you who you look at and say, wow, that's a, and you put a label on it, you are not only judging that person outside of yourself and adding to their difficulty by kind of spitting negative, dense, dirty energy. So I want you to see it like almost like shit coming out of your mouth, right? But what happens is it goes out and it comes back and hits you like 3 times as much. So it takes your energy down. And I know that whatever we judge outside of ourselves is really our own self-judgment. So please just whatever you think is not right about you, whatever you think is wrong, whatever you think is unlovable, please stop judging and just hear it as a call to just love. And, you know, it's what makes you really cool is what you think is not cool and not okay. So, whatever you think isn't cool about you or wrong, that's the thing I want you to explode. Love it. Almost like wear like a fun hat that says I'm whatever. And just, you know, like even wear a uniform of like, if you think you're weak, wear a weak uniform, like, oh, and put it on and carry that out like a badge. Yeah.
I'll put up older Geronimo for you. He's action, he's a lightning bolt, dry wit, humor on everyone's team. He comes in very quickly. He's not as formal, proper yes, no as those two.
Okay.
It's more like, yeah, duh, you already know the answer, just do it. Here he is.
Oh, so beautiful. So am I supposed to ask a question?
Yeah, ask something
Okay.
for all of us to get a reminder on, and he's very good at giving these and
Okay.
very quick.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Speak your truth. No matter if you think it's going to be accepted, speak what you know because we all need to hear that.
I love it. Okay, talk to us about letting go, walking a smoother path, how to have more fun daily. What's this all about all over again? Kindness counts. I'll throw that in there as a fourth, just you got to make
Just,
something out of this. I don't even know if these puzzle pieces are from the same puzzle, but you
uh,
can make something out of this. So, how can we walk a smoother path? How can we let go of details? How can we just breathe more, smile more, and maybe show kindness a little more to ourselves and others?
yeah. So let's start with like not taking all this shit so seriously. Let's start with like, I want you to imagine that as you look outside, or if you dare to open the news and it's like, and you like immediately like go, no, 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 I need to close it. I want you to imagine that it's Shakespeare, and Shakespeare is creating this incredible drama right now. And as Shakespeare said, all the world's a play. And we are but, each character is but ourselves. So you're looking, I want you to look at the news like as if all the characters, all the people who you take very seriously are just characters. Oh, there's the villain. Oh my God. Yes, 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 there's a villain. There's the villain's wife. Oh, I mean, is it his wife? Oh, but wait, it's a guy. Oh, is he trans? Oh, I don't know. Oh, so I want you to make like a fun story out of what you're seeing and understand that it's not personal. It's so not personal. I know you're feeling it personally, but it's not personal. It's here to help us all to grow. So now that's on the bigger picture. Let's say you have stuff going on in your life that seems very personal. Maybe you're sick, maybe your spouse is sick, maybe you have kids who are not well, maybe you have a parent who is dying, maybe you're broke, maybe you just lost your job, maybe um, maybe you just broke up with somebody and your heart just really, really hurts, and or somebody just said, I want a divorce. So those are all really, really hard things. And while they are personal, I want you to also understand that each event that is happening that may be really, really hard is here for your highest good and the highest good of everybody. Now, I know you're going to say, Ellen, you don't get it. How can a baby who's dying of leukemia be for my highest good? Well, I used to work with little children who were dying at Sloan Kettering. And I was supposed to be the happy girl. I was supposed to be the playgirl that went and played with all the children. And it was hard. But I learned a big lesson from one of my favorite little friends. And he had the biggest face in the world. And he said to me, Miss Ellie, if I's not here when you come in the next time, you just remember I's up there smiling down upon your little face. I's be watching you, so you just remember. When I went to work the next time, he was no longer there. I didn't understand the wisdom that he knew.
Hmm.
I didn't understand that he had accepted death, but I couldn't. So, whatever is happening in your life, whether it's a child who is dying or who has died, a parent dying, a spouse who's sick, I want you to understand that we see from a very limited vantage point. But from these beautiful beings who are either leaving or preparing to leave, they have a very different vantage point. They see the big picture. They see that their soul is going to go on, that their soul is ready, and they're here as our teachers, right? So even though you might have a child who looks so little and vulnerable, in that case, they are your teachers and they are also learning at the same time. So whatever happens, whether we call it good or bad, is for our highest good. When we really get that the universe has our back, and believe me, you guys, this took a long time for me. When we get that the universe has our back, everything gets easier. Now, do I have bad days? Hell yeah, I'm human, right? I have my moments. But then I also have a lot of laughter. Like, I mean, believe me, I'm sitting in the dental chair, right? And I am thinking, this is just unbelievable. Like, I mean, this isn't human. To do all of this in one day is like, this is bad. This is hard. Not to mention the thousands of dollars that is going to cost me. Forget about that. Just the pain alone, right? But I understood it wasn't here to hurt me. The universe was like, hell, girl, you are ready to get the shit out of your mouth. You are ready to get whatever toxicity is in you out, whether it was emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, whatever it was that ended up being bad teeth. Okay. So when we see it like that, I mean, honestly, my dentist, when it was over, 4.5 hours later, which is
He was
right,
in a lather, a sweat, I bet.
he took his mask and whatever else he had off, and he came over and he said, Ellen, thank you. Thank you for your amazing good humor. Your good humor got us all through the last 4.5 hours, right? And so I
Childbirth or dentist seat, which one would you choose if you had a choice? Would you be choosing childbirth on one of them?
Let me tell you, having assisted 5 women, because I had once thought about being a midwife, having assisted 5 women through childbirth, I'll take the dentist. And I have so
Okay.
much dental anxiety because I understand that once my tooth is out, it's done. Once the baby is out, honey, you got lifetimes ahead of you, right? So I'll take, even with as hard as the dentist is, I'll take that.
Are you ready for a random exercise with the universe and angels? I don't know if we have permission to do it, but we're going to find out. If you don't mind, flick your hands like you got finger paint. You're shooting it all over. Just 3 seconds is good. That's good. Here's Joy and Charlotte. The little guy who said, I'll be up there watching you, just ask if you can reconnect and have him come full in. Just get a thumbs up, yes. Say it out loud if you got a yes.
Yes.
Okay, close your eyes, let him come in, but put a hand out. You might get a little soppy on this one, so it's okay. Put a hand out, let him hold your hand, but get such clarity and wisdom that you can relay. Part of it's for you, part of it's for us, and you're going to allow, breathe. I'm going to tell one dad joke to buy time, which is just what's the only flower found on the human face?
Wow.
Tulips. And somebody else said iris, so there's two answers for that. But okay, do
Oh,
your thing, let angels do their thing, let him do his thing. He's got even more wisdom now and a lot of shine. And if you don't mind getting rocked up and down your back, there's a Kundalini Express there. People call it chakras, the Hindu system, the alignment with all there is. And now there's something private. Get a big kiss on the cheek or a loving hug, arms around you, whichever way it goes. But when you're ready, come back with what he's got for all of us as a little bit of a pep talk. I'm going to blow a little Hawaii through the microphone. Again, it's down here. So catch vis-a-vis. This is the angel. She's oceany, light waves of energy and water. Pacific Princess, Mother Hawaii. Even her name is Min, like Minnesota, Lakota Sioux for water. But Owala is a Polynesian morning glory with morning glory flowers up top. But you and I know it as a sweet potato vine. And so it's
Mm,
sweet potato underground, morning glory flowers up top. And Ua and La in Hawaiian is like rain and sun or sun and rain. So her name is Water Rainbow, Water Morning Glory. Just call her Min. Let Min bring you a little Hawaii and stability. Even though it's ocean and Hawaii aloha, let
mm.
her settle you so you can deliver the goods because you're going to really have a good one here. Here comes catch sea spritz on your nose. Even say got it out loud when you got it.
Got it. Got it.
And aloha to you, Ellen. You're sharing something really special right now. What's he have as a reminder for us all?
You and I and everyone in the universe, everyone who is listening, has never been alone. And there are, I cannot even tell you, he's telling me that there are so many angels and spirits and guides who are really assisting each one of us and the whole world right now, and particularly the United States and Canada and Ukraine and even Russia, and that we are not to be afraid. This is a time of great awakening, of great up-leveling and great leveling. And there, so he, as it turns out, is a really dear, dear friend of mine.
Did you know that before right now?
No, I did not know
So
that.
this
No.
is a shock.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I now know who he is.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah. So, so he,
If you want, I'll shift you to a different figure. We're going to come back to him because I've got I mean, this is going to be a little galactic. So it took me until March of last year. It's not that I didn't doubt that we're not alone or whatever I'm supposed to say to make that make logical sense, but we're not alone. And yeah, there's a lot of galactic figures. They're loving and it's a lot to grasp. So don't even try. You could spend your next 3 years trying to grasp. I got this far with angels 13 years into it, and I got this following statement. They're here. They're here to help. They're loving. They exist. Trust that it's so. Your answers and more will come. But I've got a Syrian for you, a woman from Sirius. Not trying to sound too serious. She's got a green flowing outfit. I'm going to show an AI drawing that's kind of close. We'll say 80 to 90%. But you'll close your eyes and let her come in because she's elegant as heck. And she's got pinpoints of light around her, and they're like potato chips or M&Ms. You just can't have one. And she's very sharing and caring. And so here's her to get us started. But folks at home, close your eyes and get a much more elegant, friendly amazingness. And anybody who's unsure, here's Joy and Angel to give you a character reference. Like, hey, she's the big digs. I don't know what that means, but she's really cool. Go ahead and let go and connect. But Ellen, close your eyes, let her come in and feel little pinpoints of diamond light or consciousness light and let her uplift you to the point where you've got that broader perspective again and your breathing is good. And now, what is she like? If you don't mind, interact with her a little bit, get a couple reminders, get tidied up, but give us a clue as to what you're experiencing with the woman from Sirius.
so she is like, and I've never really experienced this in person yet, but she's like the Northern Lights. And she reminded me that when I was a little girl, I experienced something close to the Northern Lights, but it was like the Milky Way exploding. And so she is like the Milky Way exploding and the Northern Lights combined.
Ooh, and if we were in India right now, and it doesn't have to be India, but India does it real well. Let her put one pinpoint of light on your forehead, one at
Okay.
your throat chakra, and the back of your neck for you. So you're getting three so far, a fourth on the heart, If you want the abdomen or the hips, you can
I
go to one or
just put them
two.
on. Yes, thank you.
Yes. And
Yes,
she'll like, it's not meant to say fry you with light, but that's what an American would say. You're going to get lit up
yeah.
and have a couple angels come in to help handle it at a foundational level. Breathe extra. And if you don't mind, now pivot and go back to the little boy who's also your friend. Have that final bit of a reminder for us all, because now you can deliver it like you're on stage.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, absolutely, you are not, nor have you ever been alone. And in those moments when you have experienced darkness, as we all have, it feels like you're alone. But what's happening is you cry for help, and they're coming and connecting you again. So, what I'm getting is that we're now living in a time when you don't have to go to the deep, 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 deep dark in order to ask for help. So, all you have to do is to ask for help now and to really um, receive. So, like, find some time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but like you're in your kitchen and you're looking out the window and just, oh yeah, a reminder. Oh, I need to ask for help. Hi, could I have you, my angels or my support team or my guardian angel or whatever light of a being of light wants to come and support me. Oh, I just felt one on the back. Thank you. Um, to support me. So we no longer need to go to the dark, dark in order to get supported. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else?
Well, I've got one for you. Have Joy and the woman from Sirius and Min and Charlotte, have them suggest a mantra that you're like, ooh, right on, short and sweet, but you're going to say it 3 times to start to close out the show for us. You're going to give us a daily mantra that anyone can use
Okay.
to walk a smoother path. But as you say it, you're not just flowing your energy, Ellen Newhouse in Seattle, but also lots of love and light from lots of loving beings. And you're going to really feel this one. A lot of goosebumps all over. Tell us what it is first, then repeat it 3 times. And if you don't mind, you'll put your hands out a little bit, whether it's off camera, on camera. And people who this resonates with can play it back and
Okay.
use this as a pinpoint of light for themselves.
I am pure love. I am pure love. I am pure love.
I think we felt that. People need to back it up 10 seconds, play it again, and it sounds like a book title.
Oh, Michael. Michael.
Okay, I'm going to bring in an angel who's great at marketing. If anybody at home's in a jam, in a pinch, in a bind, in a spell, and we're talking like bank account, relationships, the usual, health, you name it, ask her something while we're doing this. But Charlotte, great for everything. Ask her, close your eyes and just get the book cover. You're not sharing a single thing after this, it's private to you.
Oh,
See the
okay.
book cover, feel the book cover, be the book cover. Let's make it up and just say got it out loud when you got it. No try Yoda. I'm going to do Yoda's voice to make you laugh. If you don't mind getting one last insight from her to close out the show, here comes Yoda's voice. If you laugh, you're letting go. If you dance, you're letting go. There's 1 million ways to be in the heart, but there's 40 million ways to think something that pulls you out of the flow of life. Welcome to being human. Okay, here comes Yoda's voice. And since I'm hiding behind Charlotte's photo, it's really easy to do. Do, do not. There is no try. Okay, what's her deep insight for us all? You had to stick around to the end. I earned a comment from every single person who heard that. And if you chuckled a little, at least put a little star emoji or at least say nice job on the Yoda. Okay, what's Charlotte got as a final reminder? Ellen, you're closing us out on the show. What's it all about, Alfie?
Hmm. You are here on purpose. You are here to be of service, and you are a pure channel of love and light that you simply can give out to the world as you walk and just smile. Smile at whomever you encounter, smile at yourself, smile into your heart. You're here on purpose.
Brilliant. And I put down a piece of paper that's my favorite quote of all time from angels, probably from an angel named Dale, who coached an Olympic athlete we all know won a lot of golds, but that's not important right now. Here's that quote because it's total alignment with what you said.
Hmm.
Sometimes the person next to you or a stranger just needs validation via love and compassion. A smile changes any moment. So too does laughter or a few kind words. Be compassionate to all, do it. And as you were saying that with your eyes closed, if people want to play this back and disagree or agree, I swear to God, you look like Marlo Thomas as you were
Oh,
saying. So that's my concluding of the show here. Ellen Newhouse, thank you so much from Seattle coming on and sharing and caring.
wow. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Michael, thank you. This was absolutely exquisite. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I have a feeling we'll see you again on one of these spontaneous ones, end of 2025 summer, in addition to the regular show. So thank you again, Ellen. Great to see you.
And thank you.